He's had to do the Mother May Ice for darn near every cent that we spent. I would like to see maybe you and Elizabeth get together and just see if it takes care of itself so far, or just what. I think that.
Just see how much
Shane-
revenue we're talking.
Okay.
What Shane,
It's probably costing you more to have this discussion right now. Two attorneys and Bill in this office.
That was gonna be my next thing, guys, I feel like we're walking over dollar bills to save a dime. The problems we had financially as a county were not from decisions like this, it was from economic issues and maybe other larger bad decisions, but this is,
that's not necessarily so. We were at a point where every penny counts.
I understand
And I
that.
want to make sure
But
that.
this is, in any other situation like this, looking for opportunities to increase revenue, by investment in the community, not just save money like that. I don't know, it seems,
I'm not talking necessarily about looking for revenue
I
when
know
I
that.
say this. I
I know
just
that.
want to be sure that what we do is going to be, whether it's art in the park or whatever, that there's equity across the board and the reasons why we end up doing what we end up doing.
Mike is right, it's costing us probably more than we bring in revenue on the attorney's time, on Elizabeth's time, and on everybody's time just to research this
And the
further.
taxpayers are paying for your salary, my salary, and their salary.
That's right.
So they trust us to be diligent in what we do.
But they also trust us to be fair and not double charge them for an item.
Absolutely.
Let's do this.
I agree, I don't wanna be
Did
double
he say
charging
fair?
either.
Okay, we've had a lot of discussion. Let's do this. The item is possible action to approval to modify the park use policy. Bill, you and Elizabeth get together, modify the park use policy, bring it back to us at the next meeting, and we'll just go right from there. It sounds to me like we know what we're doing. Let's hear a policy, get what it is, give it to us, we'll vote on it. That's it.
Can we do that?
To modify, that's to you guys.
We have to,
Yeah,
we have to.
But if you would like,
Well,
if
see
you
what the
would like to
revenue
bring us,
figure is.
if you would like us to bring it back so you know the amount of revenue that we're talking about.
I move that Bill gets with Elizabeth, brings back the figures, and we put this on the next agenda for approval or rejection.
I'll
Second.
second that.
All right.
So that's a motion to
I think
table.
we just voted.
That's a motion.
Travis has a motion to table.
All right, we have a motion by Travis to table and a second by Lori to table. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None, pass unanimous. Okay, we're just gonna roll with you right now.
Mr. Chairman, I see Bunny popped in, we
I
got her
understand,
stuff.
but let's get Bill done. I saw that, so I'll take care of that. I saw it on the cover. So, we'll finish Bill, and then Bunny will address, we've already addressed you, so. Bill, finish your last item. It's approval of the use of the area where the prior extension office was located, the former hospital, for a bonfire on the night of July 3rd, 2020. I'll be abstaining from this because this is the all-class reunion. I've been with the sheriff's office, with the fire's office, everybody, we're good at do it. Use that vacant lot. We're gonna have a bonfire on the night of July 3rd for about an hour and a half, and that's gonna be part of the event. I'll be abstaining from this because I'm the chairman of that,
That's, okay.
okay? So that's what we're asking.
Yeah, I mean, as far as this, you might be abstaining, but you've done all the work with the
Yeah.
fire
You
department.
just put it on the record, so you might as well vote on it, so.
Yeah, you-
We can
Lock him
ask
up.
any questions.
It's all right.
If they had
You can
any
go, but
concerns.
that's all been taken care of, and I just feel that
Move to
I'm.
approve.
Okay.
Thank you.
Second.
Am I abstaining? All right, voting.
Just
vote on
vote, yeah.
Okay.
Just do it now.
Yeah, you
Motion
got
by
it.
Ian, and second by Shane. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Pass unanimous. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Okay.
And before we go on break or go to the 10 o'clock, Bunny, come on forward. We've already acted on your item. We've approved all of your stuff for the Silver State Trail. That, we had to move some things around, so we moved you up. And it's all done and taken care of, and it was all approved.
Well, thank you, we appreciate it.
We like your event, and it's our pleasure to do it. And we've got
It has been growing, and we've got some new marketing going on, which is a lot of outreach, so that's good. I'm also here for another agenda item, but I'm glad I don't have to wait till the end of the day.
Yeah.
Thank
Mr. Chairman,
you.
can we do item 4C real quick for the break on page 6? The CEO of the hospital here.
Is that gonna be lengthy, or is it gonna be okay?
I don't think it should be like
Just
Item
say no.
6, we tabled this when we're doing it, we allow Matt to be here. Brian asked us to table this, it's on page 6, under item 4, untimed items, it's item C. And discussion for possible action, the approval to donate to the White Pine County Hospital District county-owned real property assessor's parcel number 002-161-05, 002-161-005, 06, 002-161-07, and 002-161-08.
And as otherwise listed in the agenda.
Okay. Located generally on parks between 15th and 16th in Ely, Nevada, for the purpose of building housing for the William B. Riley Hospital Resident Program and for housing other hospitals. Okay, and otherwise stated in, is that what I'm saying, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, man.
All right, so all I'm looking for is maybe like a placeholder for that land. We're working with UNR to start a medical residency program, which would give us 4 family practice medical residents. They graduate medical school, do their first year residency in Reno, and then their second and third year residency would be done here in Ely, and then thereafter they can either move on as family practice physicians, or our hope is a few might stay, so it would help us from a recruiting standpoint. However, to get a residency program, or at least to be attractive to a resident, supplying housing is pretty integral. So we would need 4 houses for just that program alone. And then we have a lot of other needs. As we all know, housing is a shortage. There's a housing shortage here in Ely. And so with other providers that we hire, we have a hard time getting them to stay here. They try to travel back and forth. They don't bring their families. So they're not really giving to the community, but they're taking quite a bit of money. So our hope was if we had that land, we could build, our plan is about 12 properties on that land that would house 12, up to 12 at least, medical professionals that would move their families here and live there. So I'm not asking for you to give me the land because we have a plan in place and we're getting bids right now as far as building it. I don't want you just to give me the land because, I mean, obviously if you guys have the use for it or whatever, that's great. But what I'm looking for is you guys to kind of put a placeholder and say, look, if you come up with a plan in the near future, and we don't have a use for it as the county, that we would be willing to look at something like that, where we could give you the land so the hospital could pay to build the housing, and we could bring more people to the area. So that's kind of what I'm looking for.
So maybe
Right
should
of
we
first
have,
refusal.
There we go.
yeah, I was gonna say, did we need a resolution for that? Where's
Down the
that?
road we will, yeah,
Okay.
there's a process.
And for how long of a time frame would you like us to hang on?
Probably just a year. We should know in a year if we're gonna be able to do it or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or that'd be awesome. So you're talking that you need a minimum of 4 houses?
So a minimum of 4, but what we're looking at is building 12, up to 12, yeah.
Okay.
But a
Because
minimum
so
of
your
4.
residents, medical residency people would be able to go ahead and build up and have like a, or would they already have their families in need of? Here, it's like,
So they would move, sorry, say it again, I missed.
well, I didn't say it very good to begin with, because my mind was quicker than my mouth was, so. Because it is such something that we're in such desperate need for, would you be housing more than one single individual into a house?
Yeah.
So that that's what I was talking about, to
I see.
utilize, to maximize, yeah,
Yeah, so they would be family.
maximize,
Yep.
yeah.
So it totally depends, like some residents have families, some are single,
Right.
so obviously, it would depend, but we would look at building different sized houses, and so depending on that family size as to what house we would put them in. But yeah, they would bring their families, they usually live with their families, and they work at the hospital and do their training at the hospital and clinic.
Yeah, I think this goes in line with what we're all trying to do here at the county, which is try to bump up the housing opportunities all over the place. And when the
Yeah.
county has some property and we're able to maybe put the first step in there to entice a developer or whatever we gotta do, it's our job, because let's face it, we've sat here and looked for developers who own land all over the place and they're sitting on it, they ain't doing nothing. But we as a county commission, we're in a critical housing shortage and we have to start to make some steps forward. This is one of them, I'm good with it, and some of the other stuff, but until we get some guy who's gonna put out his land and hire it and develop something, I think the citizens and the rest of the community is relying on us to make the right decision and to move it forward. Yours is a good idea, so that's just my 2 cents on it.
I mean, I'd like to thank you for coming up with this plan. We look around the community, recruitment for our businesses is contingent upon housing, and our housing is where we're lacking it, and you're taking the step to create the housing, to create those opportunities for recruitment, and if other folks would, some of our bigger employers could follow this example, I think we can help resolve our issue together really well, so I think it's a commendable step.
There's a logical step also that some of the individuals, they may be bringing a few new individuals in their community, but there's also other individuals that work for the hospital that they are currently utilizing other residences. So once they are able to go into the hospital residence, it opens up a handful of other ones in the community, so. Look, the way the agenda is written, Matt, it says approval to donate. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna encourage your motion to approve the process for donation to the hospital contingent upon their plan. Okay, the donation process.
For 1 year.
Yeah, contingent upon their plan. Just make it contingent.
That's a recommendation by our district attorney, so I'll look for a motion with his opinion of what we should do, contingencies and that whatnot, so I'll look for that motion. Unless somebody's got some more debate.
I would move to approve the donation of this property contingent upon approval of the plan in the next 12 months.
That works.
Second.
Motion by Shane and a second by Ian. Any further discussion?
Question.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? None.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're gonna take just a quick 5-minute break, and then Dr. Beyond is here. Now you can ask the questions.
Did I show you 2 citations?
The 10 o'clock, the 10 o'clock, so
On my
we'll just take a
property?
quick break, and we'll do the 10 o'clock, Dr. Beyond, you'll take over that, thank you.
You guys are using tax money, that's bullshit.
Okay.
What is this?
That's the first of 2, same property. And then you're gonna give it away? I don't think so.
Myself, yourself.
You are the.
Brian.
Jay Robinson.
Yeah, so can we do that after the meeting?
Your doctor's signature.
This is that old, this is
Chairman of
from
the.
That's
2016.
the
This is the one
first
you were
of
talking
2.
about.
Yeah, the first of 2, same property.
Hey.
We're just spending George over, you guys are using tax money to put in housing. BS.
Yeah, you're looking
How you doing?
Covenants and restrictions.
Yeah, it's about an hour ago.
In the industrial park?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't know, I figured you might have, but I didn't think the commissioners had.
We're going back into our meeting, so I'll check it, yeah.
I just put your thoughts to the commission, just as this was formalized. But I.
Oh, you know how to have fun.
This has been a Georgetown production. George Chachas report.